We got a minute, dude.
Yes, sir. If you sit there, I sit here.
I can avoid hair. It's fine. It's so funny how it books up here if anyone needs to borrow one. Just come up and grab. There you go. Perfect.
3 more.
3 more now. Come on. Yeah, book in.
I would love to have another one. No, I can.
Okay. It's all good. All right. Do we have any new people attending Racing for Recovery for the first time tonight? No. Awesome. We got a bunch of veterans then. All right.
Alrighty, thank you for attending the Racing for Recovery Support Group meeting. We are focused on maintaining a drug-free and healthy lifestyle. Since 2001, our open forum meetings welcome parents, adolescents, recovering individuals, and anyone who supports our mission. Your suggestions, comments, or ideas are welcome to make our meeting the best they can be. The Racing for Recovery Support Group meeting is a cutting-edge alternative to what is currently offered by combining substance abusers, families, friends, and the public at large. We have created an environment that is beneficial to everyone who has been affected by alcohol or drug addiction. Meeting start time is 7 p.m. Please be on time. Please turn off cell phones or ringers to vibrate. Please refrain from posting on social media during the meeting to show respect and courtesy to yourself and others. Please only one person speaking at a time. Please speak loudly so that everyone can hear. Proof of attendance is gladly provided. Please turn in your paperwork prior to the meeting and you can pick it up at the end of the meeting. Honesty is required. Feel free to openly share your comments and points of views on how alcohol and drug addiction has impacted your life. This meeting is open to people of all ages and welcomes diversity, so please refrain from using excessive foul language or language that discriminates against any race, gender, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability, to maintain an atmosphere of respect and dignity for all who are present. If you see a visitor, a new member, or a returning member that you haven't seen in a while, please warmly welcome them into our program. Your confidentiality is important to us. What you say here will not be discussed outside of the meeting. Please refrain from leaving the meeting while it is in progress because it is disruptive to others. Smoking or vaping should be done away from all entrances out of respect for those who choose not to partake in that. Please do not smoke or vape by the doors, and please dispense of all trash in the garbage can and do not litter on our premises.
Thanks, Dustin.
You're welcome.
Who's got the guidelines for living a lifestyle of recovery?
I have the guidelines for living a lifestyle of recovery. The lifestyle of recovery guidelines are intended to be utilized by recovering individuals, their families, and anyone else who is striving to avoid substance abuse and achieve sobriety. Guidelines. Numero uno. Recognizing that substance abuse ruins lives. Dos. Wanting to pursue positive alternatives to substance abuse such as our education, employment, quality relationships, and health and fitness. Tres. Using resources such as friends, family, teachers, and peers as a way to achieve and remain sober. Adding sports, art, or music to these resources will help us stay focused and motivated. Cuatro. Defining balance and working toward making it a part of everyday life. Cinco. Building self-esteem and confidence through sobriety to combat negative feelings regarding oneself. Seis. Understanding that negative behaviors of isolation and self-pity lead to self-destruction. Siete. Lifting a person up is different than allowing them to continue their destructive lifestyles. Be there for yourself and be patient with your friends and family. Ocho. Learning how to help without supporting the addict's behavior. Providing assistance to the recovering individual that will improve their lives, not further their usage. Nueve, recognizing personal challenges and integrating them into our lifestyle as challenges to triumph over. And 10, caring for our personal, emotional, physical, and spiritual individuality is the source we use for our sense of worth. Each person is truly magnificent. Our mission at Racing for Recovery is to prevent all forms of substance abuse by promoting a lifestyle of fitness and health for all those affected by addiction.
You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm frankly impressed with that. So, good job. Here's what Racing for Recovery means to me by Kelly Anderson.
That's me. What Racing for Recovery means to me. R, respect yourself and never quit using. A, accept the challenges that lie ahead. C, commit to your recovery. I, include friends and family on your journey. N, never doubt your will to succeed. G, give yourself credit for your accomplishments. F, focus on the positive things you want in life. O, overcome your fears and keep moving forward. R, remember the reasons you are seeking sobriety. R, reach out to others to give and receive support. E, expect holes in the road, choose another road. C, care for your body, we only get one in this lifetime. O, open your heart, mind, emotions, and spirit. V, victory comes from a balanced lifestyle. E, educate yourself on all aspects of recovery. R, Racing for Recovery saves lives. Y, you will learn that with sobriety, anything is possible.
Thanks, Deanna. All right, it's time for introductions. Now is where we go around the room, say who you are, why you decided to join us tonight. You don't have to say you're an actor or an alcoholic, you can't if that helps you.
My name's Dustin. I continue to come here because this place allows me to be the best version of myself.
I'm Pat. I'm here to give support, and I'm also here to celebrate with my friend next to me, Jenny. But I can't tell you what she's celebrating because she's going to tell you.
I'm excited.
My name's Jen. I'm here to continue to learn. As I have to say, I have 3 years tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm Esther. I'm here to support my son Michael.
I'm Michael, and I'm here because this is my day.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm here to support Michael.
Dean, I'm here to listen tonight.
I'm Brittany. I'm here to continue finding that balance that has unexpectedly improved my life.
I'm Craig, I'm here to learn.
I'm Megan. I'm here to listen. I'm Shelby. I'm here to learn.
I'm Sarah. I come to racing to learn, support, and slowly but surely become a better version of myself.
I'm Marlon, I'm here to learn. JP is keep an open mind and remain teachable.
I would be Eric, and I'm here because I choose to be.
I'm Gabriel. I'm here to listen and learn.
I'm Frank, and I'm here to support my friend Josh.
I'm Josh. I'm here for my boy Frank, and I'm also here because I believe in the philosophy that's been communicated in the program. I think it's in line with my goals, so I'm here to follow through on that.
Justin, I'm here learning.
Kevin, I'm here to stay on track.
I'm Frank. I'm here to keep on track.
I'm Casey. I'm here to experience some compassion.
Keith, I'm here for all the inspiration. Keep on learning.
I'm Josh, I'm here to learn something new today.
I'm Kristen. I'm here for support.
I'm Carl. Here to learn.
I'm Amy. I'm here to support my brother Carl. This has become my Monday routine, and I feel good after coming every week.
I'm David. I'm just here to listen tonight.
I'm Jason. I'm here to learn how to be happy.
I'm Macy. I'm here to be around like-minded people.
I'm Zach, and I'm here to support Macy. I'm Bobby. I'm here just because I like learning something new every Monday, and I'm excited to see my boy Frankie here.
I'm Craig. I'm here for support and to continue on a sober lifestyle and to support the movement.
I'm Chris, and I'm here for a group of different reasons, but without incorporating our lifestyle into my daily routine, I wouldn't be able to say I'm going to be sober for my daughter's 2nd birthday tomorrow, and pretty stoked on it. Celebrate it and stuff.
I'm Michael. I come to racing to become a better person.
I'm Chrissy, and I'm here because there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now.
Anthony, I'm here because it's my Monday night routine.
My name's Chris. I come to racing for the positivity and the lifestyle that they have helped me learn. And there's a lot of good stuff in this book.
I'm Mike. I am here because with sobriety, anything is possible.
Hi, I'm Joe. I continue to come to Racing for Recovery because this place taught me that I have a choice and that I'm not alone.
I'm Patrick, and I'm here because this is part of my routine. And I choose to be here, and this gives me balance.
I'm Eric, and I keep coming back because this place reminds me of my need for balance every day.
I'm Courtney, and I'm here for peer support and to keep the balance in my life.
I'm Adam. I'm here because self-care is not selfish.
I'm Chris, and I come to Racing for Recovery because I made some stupid choices, and I'm learning to make better ones.
I'm Nate. I'm here because I'm supposed to be.
I'm Steve, and I just realized how bald I was looking at And I'm an alcoholic. I'm here because I want to be.
I sympathize.
That's why I wear a hat all the time.
That's why I
John. For strength and stability, and because I'm required to come in there.
I'm Cindy. I'm here for the obvious laughter and the journey that this has taken me on, the loving the person I'm becoming, and got my sparkle back, that's for sure.
And I'm Sarah. I come because it enforces how important it is for me to live a balanced, healthy, holistic lifestyle. And there's a lot of good stuff in this.
I'm Brittany, and I come because it's really easy to get out of here.
I'm Tara, and I'm here because this works for me.
I'm Andre. I'm here to receive support, give support, and try to be more active just with the Racing for Recovery program. I'm Rob. I'm here to listen and because I want to be.
I'm Heather. I like coming on Mondays to dig deeper into the book and get other insights on it, and I just love being around.
I'm Tom. I'm here for patience and I was going to be a better person. I'm Rick. I'm here to continue in the right direction, the right path.
Faye, I'm here for the positivity and to get out of my funky mood today.
I'm Brooks. I come here because I enjoy witnessing and hearing about all the successes in this room.
I'm Matt, and I come especially to the Monday meeting because it's become my favorite part of Racing for Recovery, and I'm here for support.
I'm Brandy. I'm here to keep from getting too complacent in my sobriety.
I'm Deanna, and I'm here to listen and to learn.
And I'm Brian, and I'm here because this program is changing my life. And coming to these meetings is part of it. And when I leave here, I just feel so much better.
I'm Brian, and I'm here because I want and need to be here, and I need to be here to get my life back on track.
I'm Jeff. I'm here for support.
I'm chilling. I'm here because I wasn't happy with the life I was living, and this is the best place for me right now.
My name's Dan. I'm here for inner peace and strength.
I'm Ann. I joined the movement for the healthy and positive approach.
I'm Zach. I'm here to learn.
I'm Joe. I come here for a lot of reasons. I'm here tonight because I've missed a couple Mondays and I'm trying to get back into my normal routine. And it's a great way to start off the week.
And I'm Steven. I continue to keep coming back because this place brings me absolute joy. I've never been in a place that could keep me so happy for so long. I don't know. I'm blessed to be able to come to this building every day, see all you wonderful people, and just do what I love doing. So let's get started. Who's got the answer?
I do. The Answer by Donald D. Carr. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain as I approach the light of hope that lies before me. Each step overwhelms me, every breath sears my throat. I ache, my body rebels against me, my memories torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand, they don't care who I am. I am a human being, full of thoughts and feelings. I'm worth saving, just show me the way. At last, I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer. Open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust, and so it begins, Racing for Recovery.
Thank you, Faith.
You're welcome.
All right, announcements. Andre.
Yeah, here we go. We got the Cabin Fever Chili Cook-Off. It's going to take place March 16th from 2 to 5. We have 14 contestants signed up, so if you signed up, please see a show of hands so we can just see who's trying to cook and You got Craig over there, he's not allowed. Got to pick on him, but we're talking about just like a normal crock pot full. We'll have samples, and we're going to have just a community one that won't be in the contest. We're talking about having salad, and it's just a social event so that you can just be more familiar with the people that come here and just try to open up and just get to know people and communicate, and might be able to ask somebody for help. Is that all? Is that it? Oh yeah, type of chili, ground beef, chicken, or vegan, and Craig knows why he can't cook. That's all.
What else is coming up in October?
Races.
Everyone get ready, it's going to be sweet. Any other announcements? Cool. There's a lot of good stuff in this book. That there is. Nobody has said it today.
They have. Yeah.
Sorry, I have no attention span.
Sarah said it, Chris said it.
Alright, as you can see from the introductions, our meetings are for everyone affected by self-destructive behaviors. No topic is off limits. If you have a question or something you'd like to discuss, we encourage you to bring it up early so we have time to discuss it. With that being said, before we get started in the book, does anyone want to bring up anything they would like to talk about? Anything good? Anything bad? Anything they need to get off their chest?
I have a question.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Well, I noticed this name in here. I just wonder who that was. Tim.
Tim Vanderlei?
Yeah.
He's the co-author. He helped out write the book.
Well, I figured that.
I don't know him. I would like to. No one's ever asked me that. That's a good question. Maybe I'll have to do some deeper digging.
I just noticed that name and I never heard of it. I didn't know who it was.
It's in very small print too.
It's not in this one.
Oh, okay. In the front. Does anyone have anything else? I'll figure it out for next week.
He's a ghost writer. That's what it says right here. He's a ghost writer. Yeah, you like.
If you
read the book, you know.
My book.
I should read the book more.
That's all it says, is the ghost one.
All right, Faye, what you got?
Your extra book, I forgot mine.
Oh yeah, there's 2 extra.
If you'd like to purchase one.
And also, if you'd like to purchase a book, they're $15 from either in-house or online on our store. But where we are right now, we're on page 5 at Addiction Ruins Lives. Who wants to pick up for us?
Addiction ruins lives. None of this is a surprise to anyone who's been through addiction. We all know that addiction ruins lives, right? The trick is admitting that addiction has smashed your life to pieces and that it's your fault. That's the first lifestyle of recovery. You can't heal from the pain until you own the pain, guilt, and regret that come with accepting responsibility for the mess your life has become. I had to do it. My genes make me susceptible to addiction, and if you take someone with those genes, give them emotional trauma, an environment that's conducive to getting drugs and alcohol, and the chance to use, they're probably going to wind up with a needle in their arm. But that doesn't matter. Recovery doesn't accept excuses. I have never said, and never will say, my mom died so I did drugs. I was hurting, I made a terrible choice, and that's that. That's how most of us got where we are. Remember, nobody intends to wind up as an addict. When you admit that your addiction and the ruin it's brought to your life are the result of your choice and not your biology, you might feel some guilt. But you'll also feel power, because if you can choose to use, you can choose to quit. When I finally made the decision to face my pain and my terrible choices, it sucked. It hurt like hell. But I made the choice to replace my addiction with the pain and hurt of an Ironman, because I want the high that comes with living a healthy lifestyle and successfully finishing a triathlon.
Cool, thank you. All right, so there's a lot of good stuff in there. Who relates to it? Who has anything they'd like to say about that? Bobby.
Definitely, the first time I ever read the book and I got to nobody intends to wind up as an addict, I was like, wow, thinking first time I ever drank a beer or stole some of my mom's wine coolers, with my cousin, I didn't think fuck, someday I'm gonna be in an AA meeting or going to Racing for Recovery, which I'd never heard of them, but and then first time I ever smoked weed, or then when I did coke or pills, I never thought any of that would lead me to where I am, and I just it made me think damn, I really did just make bad choices, and that's really all I got.
Thanks, Bobby. I mean, I totally agree. With the first time when I started drinking and smoking pot, I didn't think it would ever escalate to the horrendous downfall that it did. I never thought that would happen. I don't know. As a show of hands, who here thought they would end up as an addict the first time they used? Who wanted to be an addict who wanted to grow up to be an addict?
No one raised their hands for...
Yeah. For all you watching on the couch, no one raised their hands. But the positive thing about that is it's all of a choice. We have the choice, and that's empowering as hell. One choice to not pick up drugs or alcohol, and we have the rest of our lives to do pretty much whatever we want. I mean, with sobriety, anything's possible. So, who's got something?
The part where it says, when you admit that your addiction and the ruin it brought to your life is a result of choice and not your biology, that right there is kind of the fundamental. It is a choice instead of the genetic predisposition that may load the gun, but that doesn't fire it. Necessarily, it's not so much of a disease, it's a choice, or the excuses that triggers are, which we just talked about tonight in ILP actually. And it's once, for me personally, once that became my mantra, it's very empowering, because that doesn't give you that excuse to, you know, to have that crutch. So really, if there's any other time that I ever like had the beer or whatever else at that point in mind, you know, I would always know in my head that I have a choice whether it's, I mean, I already know where that would lead me, so I've already made my choice, but it definitely is over any other bullshit term, as AJ would tell you.
I like that, you can't heal from the pain unless you are healed, unless you own the pain, which I kind of like that, because I never really understood how deep addiction was and why I couldn't stop until I started opening up in the trauma counseling. So you definitely have to work on that underlying issue, maintaining your sobriety.
Before you go, Frank, that's a big thing for me too, is I literally had to like fess up with myself. Like, yeah, I did this stuff to myself, and all the stuff that may have happened to me along the way because of it was my fault. I played the blame game, pointing fingers my entire life. It wasn't me, it was my sister. It wasn't me, it was the dog. It wasn't me. The bus driver was having a bad day and he kicked me off the, you know, like, it was really hard after pointing fingers my entire life to say, I did this. And that was difficult as hell. So thank you. Right.
I just like how the two of them took my line, because I just marked it, but it's all right. I'll just reread what I was going to read.
Go for it.
When you admit that your addiction and the ruin it brought to your life are the result of your choice and not your biology, you might feel guilt, but you'll also feel power. Because if you can choose to use, you can choose to quit. When I finally made the decision to face the pain and my terrible choices, it sucked. It hurt like hell.
Heather?
I was just gonna read the same sentence that Brandy read. You can't heal from the pain until you own the pain, guilt, and regret that came with accepting your responsibility. And then to add on to that, it just made me think about like figuring out and then addressing like the why.
Oh, thanks, Heather. Brooks, definitely.
Yeah, just basically what everyone's just been reading, that you can't heal from the pain. So you own the pain, the guilt, the regret. That was something I never wanted to do. You know, I would try quitting and just kind of put that to the side and just try quitting. And I'm just gonna do it now, you know, without really facing any of the issues, you know, the guilt, the trauma, and you know, that was a hard thing to do. And once I did it and, you know, started chipping away at it, it wasn't as big of a monster as what, you know, I made it out to be, but it, you know, it was definitely necessary, and there's a lot of stuff there. So I don't know, I just think that holds true, because without reading this, I did that, you know, months ago, you know, when I first decided to get clean. I started doing that and owning up to what, you know, the mess I made. So it's kind of cool to read that, and, you know, and reiterated that, you know, it's necessary, and it's, you know, I don't know, that hopefully I'm on the right path. And then, you know, once you do that or start, you know, accomplishing, you know, that goal of owning and taking responsibility, then to say, okay, I'm going to make a choice to not use. That's where, I guess, for me, other programs, they didn't fail me. I guess I didn't grasp onto them, because you need to say, you know, I'm an addict, and that's what I am, and that's what I'll be, and that was tough for me to, I guess, admit that. But what really it was tough to say I'm going to be that all my life, and here you don't have to. You know, here it's, you know, that's the past. Now let's move forward on who you really are. So,
Yeah. Brittany?
The trick is admitting that addiction has smashed your life into pieces and that it's your fault. And then you can't heal from the pain until you own the pain, guilt, and regret that came from accepting responsibility for the mess your life has become. For me, that was the biggest thing. I wouldn't admit that I had pain. I wouldn't admit that I had guilt because I had shut it all off. That was the choice that I made, is not to care. And in doing so, I sought out the situations. I sought out anything that I didn't care. It wasn't so much thinking of, well, I want to do this. It's just that I just don't want to care. I wouldn't admit that I had that pain. So admitting that the pain is there is kind of a different level for me, because I wasn't trying to use or drink to cover up the pain. I just wasn't admitting that it was there. So seeing that it actually is there, and that's why I kind of made the choices. It's eye-opening, because I didn't know why I was, honestly, I couldn't admit to myself that that was there. So opening my eyes and admitting that that pain is there, and now I'm taking responsibility for that pain and the guilt. I feel like I can finally actually do something to heal myself.
John, before you go, that's a huge problem that I still deal with personally, is like suppressing things that are bad that are happening to me. Like, if I'm in like a bad situation or something bad happens, my eyes kind of like glaze over, and I'm just like, I'm not listening, you know? Like, it is, and it's bad, and I don't really remember it because it automatically suffocates right away, and that's something I have to work on, I still work on, is if there's something that bad's happened, or I made a mistake and I did something wrong, or something like my cat would, let's just say Carl died, not Carl, but like my cat Carl, I would have to own up to the fact that he passed away, and it would be awful, but right away my initial auto response would just be like, block it out, and that's something I have to work on myself, is experiencing even the bad and knowing it's something I have to deal with eventually, so why not tackle it right away? So yeah, and yes, my cat's name's Carl. Sorry, Carl. Yeah. Awesome. Now we have that out of the way. John, go for it.
Yeah, all right. Now I'm looking at this line here. The one that sticks out. Nobody intends to be an addict. Do you have to distinguish between one drug and another? Because I think that, to me, people that start out drinking, that's socially acceptable, pretty much. And, I don't think that when somebody picks up their first drink, they're going to consider themselves an alcoholic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you start doing other stuff like heroin, shouldn't that always be in the back of your mind? Like, I'm not going to be addicted to this? I mean, how can you not be addicted? I mean, I don't know how long it takes to get addicted to heroin or opiates. I was never addicted to that stuff. And I dabbled with other drugs, okay? But I never felt that I was addicted to anything besides alcohol. I mean, and so like when somebody starts using heroin or some other highly addictive drug, isn't that in the back of their mind? Like, I'm gonna be, there's always that possibility there. And I'm taking a real big chance here. I don't know, maybe somebody can answer that question.
Yeah.
I have a comment on that. I
Irene.
don't think most heroin addicts start with heroin. I think the majority of them start with pills and, pain pills, and then it's expensive.
Okay, well, whatever, I don't,
No, that's just, I have family members that have gone down that road. My thing is alcoholism, but I've watched it happen with my own eyes. I don't think anybody that I know, at least, that's done heroin said, oh, I'm gonna do heroin, I'm not gonna get addicted. I think they were already addicted to an opioid, to a pill, to that high that they couldn't afford, and heroin was cheaper or more available. So they were already gone, as far as the addiction. That's what I've seen.
okay, well, that makes sense.
Thanks, Chrissy. We have Brian next, and then we can continue with everyone else.
I like the part where it says, the trick is admitting that addiction has smashed your life to pieces and that it's your fault. I think of that as like trick. Like I used to trick myself into using all the time over good things and bad things, and then thinking that there's a choice in there, it's an eye opener. Like I'm just tricking myself basically. I'm not using because my car broke down. I'm using because I choose to use, and that just really stuck out to me. It just gives you like all the accountability to yourself. I don't know. I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you, Brian. We had Adam.
I just want to touch on what you were saying. For me, I definitely started out drinking, but it was really just I just didn't process emotions right. I was just I was living a self-destructive life regardless of whatever substance it was. There was just it's just a lot of bad choices that I wasn't, it was never like one substance or another. It was just whatever to destroy myself that day, as it turns out. But what was really hard for me was it just coming with the guilt that came with admitting that my choice had got me where I was. It took a while. I can see what Todd's talking about where he says feel power from that, and the power that I feel from fully owning and admitting what I have done and the wreckage I've caused in my addiction. The power I can pull from that is also I get to own the positive things I do in my recovery, which has been crucial to my success so far in this program, and I'm so thankful for that and grateful for that in my life right now. I don't have to hurt myself today, and I can take ownership over things today that are good for my recovery. I can take ownership over positive things and not just negative things and not just consequences. There's both, and there's definite power in that for me.
I like the way you said that, man. That was good. Thank you. Go for it.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, I can speak from experience, and one thing we don't do here is, we don't compare one drug to another, whether it's alcohol, pills, or anything like that. But I can speak from experience in saying that, I never intended to become or have any type of alcohol or drug issue. From my experience, it doesn't even really matter where we're at right now is we've all been through that shit, and it all starts with one. For me, it started with one, and I don't think a majority of the people would be in this room if that wasn't the case. I just wanted to, just rein it in a little bit, that we're not comparing alcohol and drugs. Drugs and alcohol are the same thing, and we're all here majority of us are here because of that we've been affected by drugs and alcohol, and, that's all.
Or also self-destructive behaviors in general, which encompasses anything that's hurting yourself. And it could be anything that hurts yourself, anything taken too far, anything that you're not happy about that you're doing to yourself.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you're welcome. Andre, then Deanna, then Heather, then Stone.
From my own experience, I can only talk about my journey and thinking about when I first started drinking, and I was probably a sophomore or junior in high school, and that was a little early for me, but the way I grew up back in the 70s, it was like a rite of passage, and I've said this before, that society kind of made it cool. You turn 16, you can get your license, okay? Now you can drink 3-2 beer, so you can drink 3-2 beer. Well, then some other kids are going to bring other stuff, in there, and that's how I got started on my alcoholism. I always said that I was pretty smart and I had all these aspirations, but if they would have talked about alcohol like they talked about cigarettes back then, I don't know if I ever would have picked up a drink, because I didn't know it would lead me to that nobody intends to wind up as an addict. I mean, that was not my intention with my life. I went to Ohio State and was trying to get educated, and my buddies would be doing the hash and the this, and I'm not going to mention other stuff because it's irrelevant. But my choice was always alcohol. I don't know why I chose that, but I always thought I was in control of that, and I couldn't control those other substances, so I wouldn't do them. So obviously, as you start when you're a teenager, and by the time you're 50, you got 4 DUIs under your belt, you know that there's a problem. And you're trying to figure out, when did it cross over from being fun and playing cards and going out and getting stoned and looking at the sun go down on the old Waterville Bridge, all that kind of stuff. When did it cross over for me being dependent upon alcohol? And that's when I can't figure that out, and again, that's irrelevant. But the point is, I know if I start again, I can't stop. So what point I'm trying to make is I have to change my behavior and do different things to make me try to become that better person that I originally wanted to be. I mean, I was going to be an industrial psychologist, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Andre, how did that just go by the wayside? But the alcohol was more important than partying down at Ohio State. That's all.
Thanks, Andre.
Well, back to the book. I was just going to say that I guess the biggest thing that stood out for me and everything that I read was just that recovery doesn't accept excuses. And like for me, that's probably the most profound thing in most of what I read. And I guess for me, now it's like, that's where I'm at, in my life. My dad used to always tell me everything after but's bullshit, right? And so now I pay attention constantly when I say but that's kind of like the same thing, you know what I mean? It's weird, I'm like, oh man. Yeah, so I just feel, that right now I don't have any room for excuses in anything, and that's why I focus on just being a better person every day. And when I get up in the morning, I really do try to stick to the same routine every day. I try to focus on being more tolerant, more compassionate, and because I was a really yucky person for a long time, and it wasn't even just about the substance. It was about the substance of my heart was yuck, and I let a lot of the things that I went through and a lot of the things I went through as a kid and all that other stuff, I let I let all of that just kind of turn my soul into just like this black cloud, and you know, so it's not, it's really more, it's really more than just not using for me. You know, I genuinely want to be a better person, period. And I make a pretty good effort at that every day. I can't say that I'm, you know, I do fall short, but I don't make excuses anymore. You know, so like when I read that, that was, I remember when I first read this book, I remember reading that, and that stuck with me. And then just kind of thinking of some things today. I was going through some stuff, and so I think I was meant to like read this paragraph today because I just read that, and so now I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it's kind of like the universe sending me a message. It's like, get on the ball, because I was starting to slip. So I'm glad I got to read that tonight.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks, Deanna. Heather?
I just wanted to point out that the other thing that like kind of stood out to me was the sentence that says, when you admit that your addiction and the ruin it's brought to your life are the result of your choice and not your biology, you might feel some guilt, but you also feel power. Because like when I first started coming, like 20 or 20 ago, that was like my light switch to realize that it's a choice to do either good or bad.
Cool. Thank you. Stonebird.
Oh, I raised my hand a while ago, but now my mind's like all over the place. But I couldn't have said it better than Dustin rocked it out, you know, like there's no hierarchy of drugs. We don't, you know, we don't compare. We relate. And I love, like, to me, addiction's a state of mind. And that's like, I've been addicted to pretty much every substance. Even when I was sober down in Florida for a long time, I've talked about it before, you know, I was cranking back 12 monsters a day, and I don't find that to be too healthy. So, pretty much, I was just, like Adam said, you know, using any substance to pretty much destroy myself or to escape reality. And, I don't know, I was just reading this quote by Mark Twain that was saying, the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. And then I was kind of putting that to addiction, and I was thinking, you know, the two most important days right now is like when I got sober, because that was like being reborn again and figuring out what made me go out and use. And to me, it was trying to escape all that trauma and cope with it a different way, and I didn't know how to cope. And then using started, you know, what the section we just read, addiction ruins lives. It started causing more pain, which beget more pain, which beget more pain. And before I knew it, all of a sudden I was just drowning everything out with any substance I could use. So it didn't matter what it was at the time, if it was drugs, women, whatever. It was just anything to take my mind away from what I was really dealing with. But now, I think instead of addiction ruins lives, we should be reading like sobriety kicks ass, or just defeating self-destructive behaviors kicks ass, because all the beautiful people, once we put all that, like Todd says, the same tenacity into destroying ourselves, we put that into like self-betterment, we all begin to shine and everything just becomes so glorious.
You guys have such good stuff to say, Chris. Thanks, man. Herbster, what's up?
So, I wasn't going to share, but when Deanna was talking about it, uses, I had all these racing thoughts of all the excuses that I made, and now in my life now, like, I really don't have any excuses. Like, I don't have to make any. I mean, it goes way back to like 12, 13 years old, come home, mom's like, why you smell like smoke? Well, because, and I'd give an excuse, you know. Well, why'd you get drunk that? Well, the guy asked me in 2 minutes to 2 if I was going to buy any beer, you know, like, it was always an excuse, like, from the time I can remember. So no, nobody, I never thought I'd ever stick a needle in my arm, like ever. I was afraid of needles. I don't even have tattoos. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like it. I had to look away when I gave blood at the doctor's. That was never my intentions, but all along of that whole 30 years, I was making an excuse. First it was, honestly, it was like I was chasing the lifestyle, and then I started chasing the buzz, and then the buzz wasn't ever enough, so I just kept chasing, and then it was somewhere in there, it didn't even matter anymore. Like then the physical addiction happens, and then you got the excuse, well, I'll be sick if I don't, like it's still an excuse. But now that life is good, I don't have to make an excuse for anything. I want to be peaceful. It's an honest life. I have accountability now, like, it's really nothing I have to make up an excuse for, the excuses go even like why I didn't come to work, or why I didn't do this, or why the rent wasn't paid. It was always somebody else's fault. You know what I mean? It was always somebody else's fault. So that was huge for me to have accountability for my actions, my choices, my addictions. I even went as far as to say, like, I don't like drugs. They like me. You know what I mean? Like, that don't even make sense. You know what I mean? But I tell people that all the time. Like, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't like it, but for some reason I can't stop doing them. That's all I got. I just had to get that excuse out there.
Nice. Thanks, Michael. Frankie.
Mine went from, mine started out for the injury, which I was introduced to the drug of my choice, and then the book had mentioned past traumas, and then I experienced a couple traumatic things right in a row, and I had these pills, and I took them to not deal with that trauma and not to deal with that pain. And I was not educated in addiction. I didn't know anything about it. In high school there was some guy that I sat in and watched when I was 15 or 16 years old that came up that's probably my age. That was probably my age now, and was telling us all about this, and I heard it, but I couldn't comprehend it, and then I just kept taking them just to not feel or think about this trauma, and then I noticed one day when I didn't take them, something was off, and I was irritable, and I wasn't myself, and I went to my drug dealer at the time, and I said, hey man, I'm just excuse my language, but I'm just an asshole without these pills. And he said, you're going through withdrawal. And I said, what the hell is withdrawal? And I went home and Googled it, and there it was, every symptom, boom, 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 boom. That was the revelation of addiction to me, and it was really the trauma and the pain. And when we talk about choices in here, the hardest part about making the choices, especially when you first get sober, is to make that choice while you're surrounded and engulfed by that pain, to make the right choice and not the wrong choice. That's kind of how I feel about it.
thing happened to me about 3 weeks ago. I had never been introduced to drugs or anything. I fell and hurt myself, and I fractured my tailbone, etc. Well, anyway, they put me on acetaminophen, and the pain was so bad, so I went back to my doctor, and she said, well, I'm going to give you something to relieve pain. You're in such pain. So I went to the druggist, and I got the prescription, and he didn't say anything to me about it being, how do you pronounce that word? Oh, that word.
Opiate?
I can't say it. So anyway, so no sooner than I get home, the druggist calls me and I said, you know, I just want to tell you that your doctor prescribed Tramadol, and it's addictive. Well, I opened up the prescription thing, and there's this red sheet and all this stuff saying. So they were 50 milligram, and they cut them in half because they said it would be too strong because of my age. So I'm looking at these things, and I'm sitting listening to everybody here, and I'm thinking to myself, God, I can't stand this pain. And I started to take one, and I said, no, I can't do this, because I don't know what's going to happen. Well, I flushed them down the toilet. I know the environment, the hell with the environment. So, I looked online to see how much they were worth that I flushed down the toilet, and I could have bought myself a new refrigerator. So, I was so afraid to take this, because it's true, you know, there was that thing, I mean, a small refrigerator. I was so afraid and so nervous that I was gonna, you know, here I had it in my hand, and I kept on reading it, and I went online, and I saw all this stuff, and I remembered all the stuff that I heard for 5 years in here. I was petrified. I took those, and I just flushed them down the toilet. So my doctor calls me a couple of days, how are you doing? I said, I don't know, I flushed them. She said, you did what? So, it's a strange thing, even at my age, that I would be so concerned that, you know, I wanted to be out of this thing, you know. But I wasn't going to take those darn things, because I didn't want to come back here and have to go through IOP. I don't even know what IOP means.
I had something really good to say, but it can't top Pat, ever. Please, someone throw me a bone or something. What's up, Brian?
I mean, it's funny what Pat said, but it's kind of crazy that just the education, or the lack of education from like a decade ago, and the overprescription of these opiates that has caused what a lot of people in this room are dealing with now. And like you said, like when you first picked them up, your pharmacist didn't say anything, and I don't. Was it the pharmacist that called you?
Called me, and then I opened the prescription, and there's all these warning things. You know, this is addictive, and it.
Yeah.
Red piece of paper, and.
Well, they're doing that now, and they weren't doing that years ago. Years ago, they were, and you know that I forget the name of the drug you mentioned, but they were marketed as not even being addictive. A lot of these pain drugs. So I don't know. I think it's just crazy that you know, they're trying to play catch up now at this point. I don't know. I think it's funny what you said, and maybe you know, but like it says here in the book, some of it's genetic and some of it's choices. You could have taken them for 3 days and it could have helped you for 3 days and you could have been completely fine, or, you know, there could have been a different outcome. So, I guess bravo to you for getting through the pain and taking what you've learned in here from other people.
10 years ago, I would probably take them.
Yeah.
Not thought a word about it, but
So bravo to you for getting through the pain and taking what you've learned from other people in here and not leaving them, I guess.
To build on that, you know, I've got school-age kids, and I mean, when I was their age and I was a kid, what, 5th grade, you have DARE, and you know, I don't remember going through high school and having recovering addicts come in and talk to me about why, you know, you need to be careful with this. I didn't have that in health class. We went through CPR, we got our boating license. We didn't talk about addiction. We talked about, you know, setting a broken bone when you're in nature, but realistically, the real jungle is right here. It's in here. We have, growing up as kids, I don't know how it is now. My kids just went through DARE. I don't know what high school kids are doing now, but the lack of education is insane. And even picking up prescription pills after, you know, I dislocated my hip or, you know, had any other kind of injury. Here, take this. They give you those pamphlets, but raise a hand, who actually reads those pamphlets that they put in your prescription bags? So they need to like verbally or like, you know, have an automated system to tell you right there when you're signing for your prescriptions the risks or whether it's addictive or not, because nobody reads those things. And we're not being educated in schools the way that we should be when it comes to addiction. And I fear for my kids for that.
Patrick. Autobiography in 5 short chapters by Portia Nelson. I walk down the street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I fall in. I'm lost, I'm hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I pretend I don't see it, I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I see it is there, I still fall in, it's a habit. My eyes are open, I know where I am, it is my fault. I get out immediately. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I walk around it. I walk down